Hey everyone! So let's talk about software design. Does that term ever just make your head spin? It feels like this massive puzzle that everyone in your classes expects you to solve, but nobody ever really gives you the pieces. Well, you're definitely not alone. It can feel super abstract, especially when you're a student. So today, we're going to decode it. We're going to walk through a real expert's playbook and turn all that confusing stuff into a simple, straightforward tutorial you can actually use on your very next project.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. What is software design, really? I mean, if you're in a course like SWE 301, you've probably heard like a dozen different answers, right? One professor calls it a blueprint, another one calls it a roadmap, and it is so easy to just get lost and feel like you're completely missing the point. Trust me, that's a super common struggle, and it's exactly what we're going to clear up right now.
And yeah, this right here is the root of all the confusion. Is it a blueprint for the system, a roadmap for development, the actual process of designing the architecture? Well, the truth is, they're all kind of right. And that's the problem. There isn't one perfect, clean definition, which is exactly why it feels so fuzzy and abstract. But don't worry, we're about to give you a simple framework that just cuts right through all that noise.
So how do we make sense of it all? Honestly, the best way is to just simplify it. Let's think about software design as happening on two different levels. This is the first big key to unlocking the whole thing. You've got the high-level architect who's dreaming up the big picture, and then you have the low-level detailer, the person who actually makes it all work.
This breaks it down so perfectly. So, on one hand, you have architectural design. That's the big picture stuff. It's like you're the architect of a house, right? You're figuring out the overall structure, where the main components go, and how they're all going to connect and talk to each other. Then, on the other hand, you've got detailed design. This is all about the inner workings, the nitty-gritty. What's the specific logic inside each of those components? What data structures are you going to use? You absolutely need both to build anything that's actually going to stand up.
Okay, so we have the architect and the detailer, but how do you actually learn to think like both? Well, that brings us to the expert's playbook. We're going to look at the exact strategies that seasoned pros use when they're staring down a really complex design problem. And look, this isn't just theory from a textbook. This is how you start to actually think like a professional designer.
Okay, so here's the secret sauce. Experts do not try to solve the entire universe all at once. Nope. Their approach is way more methodical. First, they are always hunting for the simplest possible solution. If that's not obvious, they'll actually solve a simpler version of the problem first just to get some insights. Then they break the big problem down into smaller, manageable pieces. Classic divide and conquer. And finally, they don't reinvent the wheel. If there's a great solution out there that already exists, they use it.
And I really got to emphasize this point about simplicity. This is not about being lazy. It's a highly advanced strategy. Experts know from experience that simple solutions are way easier to understand, to maintain, and to change down the line. That's why they will literally keep searching for a simpler path, even after they found one that technically works. It is a deliberate investment in the future health of the project.
But let's be real. Thinking the right way is only half the battle. Great design isn't just about how you attack a problem in your own head, it's also about how you work with other people and other ideas. It's about leveraging the entire world around you to build something that's truly awesome.
See, experts know they are not isolated geniuses working in a dark room somewhere. They actively work with other people, because collaboration just sparks way better ideas. They get the user involved from day one. They build a network of other experts they can call on for advice. And just like a building architect would study other amazing buildings, they are constantly studying other software designs to learn and get inspiration.
I love this quote because it just says it all. The image of the designer as a lone genius who has flashes of brilliance is a fallacy. It's just not true. The real breakthroughs, those deep aha moments, are almost always born from a collaborative space where ideas can be shared, challenged, and made better together. And when we talk about involving the user, this is such a key distinction. Experts know not to just take feature requests at face value. A user's thinking is often limited by what they already know. You know the old saying, if you asked people what they wanted, they'd say a faster horse. The expert's job is to dig deeper, to look beyond what the user is asking for, to truly understand what they actually need. That's where you find the car. That's where real innovation happens.
All right, so we've defined the two levels of design, and we've opened up the expert's playbook. Now, let's bring it all together. Here's how you can start your own design journey, like today.
Here it is, your new design mantra. 4 simple things to remember. First, simplify. Always be on the hunt for the simplest, effective solution. Second, collaborate. Remember,
Design is a team sport, so bring other people in. Third, reuse. Build on proven solutions instead of starting everything from scratch. And fourth, observe. Actively learn from the world of software that's all around you. Seriously, these 4 habits are the foundation of what it means to be an expert designer.
So I'll leave you with this one final question. As you think about your next class project, your next coding assignment, which one of these expert habits are you going to focus on first? Are you going to simplify, collaborate, reuse, or observe? Just making that conscious choice, that's how you stop just learning about design and you start doing it like an expert. Thanks so much for watching.